I'm Hannah. I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark and Mercari. I'm still kind of working my way towards eBay. I haven't quite gotten there yet. But if you haven't seen my channel before, that is what my videos are about. So I've got some kind of tips and tricks and hopefully things that will help you guys out. None of them are my original ideas. They are all things that I learned from other people that I am passing along to you guys in hopes that they help you like they helped me. So I'm going to tell you 5 things to either do or not do that are going to increase your sales on Poshmark. That doesn't mean that you're going to make 20 sales when you go to sleep that night, but it will increase, especially over time. Okay, the first one. This is do not. Do not decline offers. Do not. I have, as a seller, as a buyer before, I have actually like lowballed someone just to kind of see where they were at price wise, and also to kind of experiment with what how other sellers react to things. I know that a lot of them get really offended at lowball offers, like, oh God, I can't believe that, like, just decline. Don't do that, because that is costing you sales. A lot of times what I will do is meet them kind of somewhere in the middle to see if it's truly just a lowball offer, or if they're maybe just trying to see how low I'm willing to go. So I will always counter an offer. I will never decline. And then a lot of times I will make a bundle and shoot them a message. Hey, I got your offer. Blank. This is about, I can't go that low, but however, I did send over a counter offer. That way that you're kind of creating some engagement there. But do not decline. It makes you seem I don't know the right word to say, but it just to me it seems arrogant, I guess. Which leads me to my number 2, which is an opinionated thing. So I'm not going to say this one specifically is definitely going to cost you sales. In my opinion, it will cost you sales. Posting signs like no lowball offers. Lowball offers users will be deleted and blocked or what, just it kind of, at least to me as a buyer, if I'm looking for something, and I do purchase from time to time on Poshmark, to me that says my items are too good for you to try to undervalue them. Yes, you want to value your items, but you also do not want to turn buyers away by acting like, they should feel privileged to shop from you. Even if there's an item I want in that closet, I will not buy it because of that. And again, that's just me. Another thing I've seen is it's a chart, and it'll say like reasonable offer guideline chart. So it tells the buyer like Poshmark take a 20% cut and da da da. Okay, if I'm buying an item, it's important to me in no way how much the seller makes. I'm concerned in the quality of the item, how fast I can get the item, and the price of the item, not how it's affecting the seller's life. And that's just blunt, and that's what it is. Few people are actually going to look at that anyway. People generally don't follow directions very well. I'm a teacher, and at least my students are kids, but adults don't do much better. So it's not going to be looked at anyway, and it's probably going to turn a lot of buyers away. Okay, my third thing is inventory. So thinking about when you are sourcing, thinking about inventory in terms of time and space rather than money. Because when you're at the bins and everything is like 50 cents or something, it's so tempting to just buy everything. However, you're not necessarily losing a lot of money, because if it's something that costs you 40 cents, that's 40 cents you lost in the grand scheme of things. But it is something that A, may just sit around and take up space, and B, is not worth your time. So when you think of, okay, I have to I have to wash it, measure it, list it, photograph it, put it in inventory, however long that process takes for you, is it worth it or not? And that's kind of a personal decision on your part, but if it's going to be one of those things that every time you go to list, you're like, oh yeah, I'll list that later, it's going to get thrown to the, if you're not going to list, think realistically. Instead of just having these great intentions, think like, okay, actually, what am I going to do? List it or not. Okay, so I'm trying to think about the last two, which one I want to go into. Okay, followers. So I'm going to link a video. I'm going to show you, take you guys through it on a screen share thing here in a second about the best way that I've found to gain followers. You're looking at about a 50-50 follow rate or refollow rate. I do try to go back and refollow the people that followed me. But I'm going to show you here in a second the best way to find those people that are going to also engage with you. The last big thing that I want to talk about is the algorithm. So if you've been watching any YouTube videos on Poshmark or anything like that, you've seen lots and lots of stuff about the algorithm. And it's this basically like mathematical formula that decides things that no one can figure out. The way that I think of it, which is silly, but I think of it as like this like mythical creature, like the Poshmark god or something that, if you please it and you make it happy, then you do well. Your listings go to the top of the search. Or if someone's searching for a listing and you have a listing with the things they're searching for, it'll bump it up to the top if you're doing things that it likes, and vice versa. And you can actually even get in like Poshmark jail for sharing too much or following too much. I think the number of people that you can follow a day is like something crazy, like 4,000, but regardless. So things that make the algorithm happy are things like that everyone's telling you to do. Listing, sharing your listings, sharing other people's listings, and being active in parties and things like that. You can tell what the algorithm wants by just looking at your app. You want to look at if it's recommending to you, hey, help us out by reviewing these listings, okay, it wants you to review the listings. I don't know how much effect that really has, little things like that, but I do try to always do them just because I figure, okay, if it's sending you a notification wanting you to do something, it can't hurt. So I do try to do those things. If you look at any kind of positive interaction is going to boost your algorithm. Any kind of negative interaction is going to throttle it, I guess, so to speak. So things like blocking people, return cases, canceling orders, things that are not necessarily malicious but that you don't want to do. If I've ever have to like cancel an order, I've had to do that because I couldn't find the item or stuff like that before. I'm always like, crap. Like I do everything I can do to not cancel the order because I know that's going to affect the algorithm, and usually my sales are quite a bit slower the next day or two after that. And then return cases. So typically, for a return case, if it's something like, if it's definitely my fault, like I listed a pair of shoes for the wrong size, then I will just say in there, Poshmark, please return, please allow the return. When the case is opened up, that way it's friendly, it's good customer service, it's simple, it's smooth. It's my fault anyway, so I wouldn't want that to happen to me. If it is something like, this is a counterfeit item, when I know that it's not, that has happened to me before, and they have, this one wasn't, I don't think it wasn't a counterfeit, but it was something really crazy. Like the listing said everything in the picture included, and there was like one tiny background thing. It was silly. Anyway, when I got it back, it was damaged. It was a Pandora bead. And so if I have a buyer say this is counterfeit, that I will fight, because I'm happy to have my charms, my beads, my bags, whatever back, but I don't know that I'm going to get them back in the condition that I sent them in. And B, I know that they're real. I know that they're not counterfeit, and I have receipts that I can provide. So those are the things that I do actually fight on returns. I did have like a customer one time who bought several Pandora charms and opened a case saying that they're counterfeit or whatever. So I provided the receipts for Poshmark, and so they denied her return. So she went to like every single one of my my listings relating to what she had bought, I think, which was a Pandora charm. Went to like all of my Pandora listings and commented like, fake, this is a scam. And so for stuff like that, don't respond to that. Just click spam, block them. And blocking is not bad. I do it kind of worst case scenario type of deal, like that. If you're blocking people all the time, the algorithm, it will affect the algorithm and you will kind of go to the bottom. Stuff like that is not worth arguing about. It's not worth it. All you're going to do is get worked up. Which brings me to another very important point, is that your comments on Poshmark, on your listings, people can see your comments in a bundle. There's no way to direct message. They can see the bundle comments. It's just, there's a lot of workaround to kind of get there. But on a public listing, people can always see your comments. That stays there. A buyer, you can flag it as spam and it will delete it. So if you respond like, you know, whatever, like you don't know what you're talking about, just with that attitude, stuff like that, potential buyers are going to see that and be like, that doesn't seem like someone that I really want to work with. If you respond in a very nice and friendly way, that's also seen. So you want to kind of be careful what you put out there, and sort of that customer's always right to an extent. No, they're not, but you can at least take the high road and be somebody that you would want to purchase from. So I don't know that those are 5 clearly defined things, but those are some about 5 tips and tricks to know. I will this video is getting really long, so what I'll do is I will make another video later tonight or tomorrow on how exactly to target those followers that you want, and how to target buyers and sellers who are active on the platform, which is going to get you return activity, and it's going to grow your followers, and more people are going to see your items. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If there's anything that you would like for me to make a video about specifically, any certain subject or anything like that, I'm more than happy to do it. I'm just trying to kind of pay it forward, because I was given a lot of help and a lot of advice from other people, and I would like to kind of give that back. So if you would like to see more of this type of content, then you can click subscribe below, and I will see you later in a video soon about target following.